Right. It's 10:59. So I'm just here waiting for 11 o'clock so we can go ahead and get started for World Watercolor Month, Day 17. I hope that you're finding me and joining me for our live watercolor today. Woohoo! So it's 11 o'clock Central Time here in beautiful Louisiana, Missouri. I'm here at the Moon and the Maker. It's my studio and home of Rubber Moon. It's me, Kae Pea, and I'm here to watercolor with you today for day number 17 of World Watercolor Month. I'm very happy to be here as always. This has been so inspiring for me, and so I look forward to it so much every day. I hope that you, ooh, Dana, you're in Maryland. Have you been to the Queen's Ink yet? I'm so happy that you're still joining me. You haven't, I don't think you've missed a day. Good morning, Becky. So, all right, we'll go ahead and get started. And I wanted to tell you all a couple things. First of all, I have these color charts, these core color charts. They're beautiful. They're, whole booklet of all their colors, and it talks a little bit about why it's called modern watercolor, and then just tells you different things about what different like the different legends on each tube. Here, I'll show you. Let me pull out a tube. They have little legends on the back, and it shows like if they're opaque, semi-opaque, transparent, semi-transparent, staining, granulating, or semi-granulate, or I'm sorry, semi-staining, and the light fastness rating, and then the golden light fastness rating. So all that information's in here, and then plus all the colors. And then it talks about some of the different core mediums for watercolor. So I wanted to let you know if anybody places, and I don't have a lot of these. I ordered some for my classes, but I do have some left over. So if anybody places an order today from this, I'll do it as long as I have, some still left. So like if I still have some tomorrow, then I'll do it again. But anybody who orders, I will throw one of these in your order. Also, along with a little sample card, because I have some sample cards too, like this. I mean, some of you may have already received these, but they're actually really good, surprisingly. And it comes with a really nice little piece of paper. And then you have this little vellum sheet that protects it. And then surprisingly, it's 6 colors, but this little dot really goes a long way. So anybody that orders anything from Rubber Moon today, any size order, I'll throw one of these in with your order. And again, I will offer this again tomorrow if I still have some left. Okay. So anyway, so today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. We're going to do an abstract, and we're going to do a little watercolor collage. Okay. So it's really small, on a small scale, but I wanted to tell you, I have an artist that I just saw her work about 2 months ago. And I really it's just really charming. I fell in love with it. It's very different, at least for me. And I really wanted to play a little bit. So she does a lot of watercolor collage. And I'll tell you her name so you can look her up if you get a chance. It's Caroline Cohenor. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but it's Caroline, Caroline, Cohenor, Cohenhour. So Cohenhour, Caroline Cohenhour. And I really, really like her work. And so I thought, I'm going to play with it a little bit with stamps to do something similar to what she does. Not all stamps. I use some stamps and then some just freehand. So what we're going to do, and I hope that you get a chance to get out your watercolors and a little piece of paper. You don't need much. Again, I'm working on these little small 3x4 inch 300-pound cold press watercolor paper. So again, I don't know if you can kind of see, it has a little bit of tooth to it. It's pretty heavy, pretty thick. I like this because it does not warp or buckle, even, with a good amount of water. I've really enjoyed working on this for this whole month. I have a few of my Stamp Strack stamps pulled out, and I'm sorry, I know they're really well loved and AKA grungy. But anyway, a few of my random Stamp Strack stamps pulled out. A few here are mounted, and a few are on cling. So and I might pull a couple more. I don't know, but I just for now I have well, this one's not a Stamp Strack. This is that one called Dashing 2. You've seen me use that, and then of course my burst stamp, which all of you I know probably have this by now because I use it so much. And then this one's just a bunch of little dots. This is from Stamp Strack's 2 collection also, just like 12 little dots in a row. I think it's called Ripples. Here, I'll pull this out and show it to you. This one, yeah, this one's called Ripples, and it's this right here. I don't know. So anyway, and then I got this large tracks, and then this one's from Stamp Strack's 1. It is called something that I can't remember. Oh, effervescent. Okay. I remembered. Yay. Okay. So anyway, just 6 little stamps. And then I just only pulled out my little core mini half pan set. And then I am actually going to use a separate piece of watercolor paper for my designs because I don't want it to be this thick. Okay. I want something thinner. So I pulled out just this little pad. It's hot press, so it's smooth, and it's 140 pounds, so it's thinner. You could even use like 90-pound paper for this exercise. But if you're going to watercolor, I would definitely still stick with watercolor paper. Okay. So here you can see I stamped, and I just did like basically it's almost like scribbling with watercolor. Okay. It's really, really fun. When I stamp things like this is stamped, I did not care if it splattered or spattered or if it got a good stamping. It's just really, really fun to do this. Okay. So, and of course I have a few pieces already kind of cut out, some of the little mark making things that I did that I liked already. Here again, just another little scrap piece of paper that I started sort of doodling on. So that's all you're going to do. Okay. You're just going to pull out whatever your favorite watercolor brush is. And of course, also to match the size of kind of what you want to do. And then you can just start playing with colors. Of course, I do have my regular palette, but if I wanted to pull in some of my brights, I always have this sitting here as well, because I might want some cobalt teal. I hardly can ever live without cobalt teal, it seems like. In fact, my cobalt teal area is getting a little bit low, so I'm going to, it's a little grungy in there too, so I'm going to take a baby wipe and clean that out a little bit and squeeze myself some fresh cobalt teal into there just in case. Not sure. This is really a fun exercise also to practice like different color ways or color palettes. Again, so I have my fresh, clean water up here, up here where I know you can't really see it very well, but it doesn't look that fresh and clean. It's just because my bowl actually is pretty but that's okay. I'm a painter. It's not supposed to be pristine, right? So you can go ahead and start with stamps if you want. I am going to start with maybe this little effervescent stamp, and we'll stamp it in this Payne's Gray. Again, I'm not really aiming for a crisp stamping, so even if it gets a little blobby, I'm okay with that. I'm using a little bit of my olive green, and I'm going to stamp these ripples. I'm going to some blue. I'm just going to play and have fun stamping and also doing some just doodling with my brush. Maybe this, I want to go ahead and paint it in a little. Just whatever, really honestly, whatever moves you. If a color right now, if you're playing like this and you just really feel like you want to experiment with color, then do that. If you just want to doodle some fun lines, then do that. If you have some fun brushes, maybe that you've never experimented with and you would like to get out some different brushes and play with those, that would be great. If you just feel like making little dots and patterns, that's great too. It's very, very relaxing to do this. And it's also, just like I said, super fun to play with your colors, and it's a great way to not have anything invested and just see how the water flows on the page. It's a great way to experiment with your different papers. So if you have hot press, cold press, thinner, heavier, different brands, all that stuff. Okay. So just keep that in mind as you're doodling around. And I'm going to try to pretty much fill in all the paper just with my little random marks and doodles and stamps. So it seems like I love doing circles and just sort of these mod little marks. So if that's what you feel like doing, then definitely do that. And I don't know, again, playing with colors. I don't know if I really wanted a lot of bright colors or if I wanted some more muted colors, but you know me, I always end up going for the brights. But for this, I don't know for sure if that's what I really want to end up using or not, but that's okay. You can just do a whole bunch of stuff on your paper and see where it leads. And it's sort of cool because once you get all this filled in, you might just love this the way it is and not want to cut it up either. That's always a possibility. I mean, I want you to know right now too, I'm not looking at anything, or I'm not really making any kind of decisions at all. The only decisions that I'm making at the moment is really what color I want to use and what area I want to fill in. And, I'm just going to the paper and making my marks spontaneously. Um, I really don't have any, hidden agenda here. No rhyme or reason, no thoughts in my brain. Again, I'm just not aiming for any kind of, you know, any kind of perfection at all. Like, I just am really being random, and it's surprisingly fun. I hope that you get to try this because it's um it's lovely to, not feel any pressure to, to actually have some sort of outcome is very creatively freeing. So I definitely hope you'll try this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. It's full enough, I guess, as it is. And then, of course, I could pull, these out and see if there's ways that I want to use them together or use them at all. I mean, the nice thing is that if you even just have some scrap uh, things laying around that you have, even like old color charts or old like little, oh goodness, like let me pull this up. This would be really cool. This was actually the color chart that came inside of um, inside of this little core tin, and you paint it in so that you can see the colors, but mine got all splooged up there. So, I mean, I could cut that apart and use it. If you have anything laying around, like, pieces of art that maybe you started that you don't love or that you messed up, little old, greeting cards maybe that you started to play around with but gave up on, whatever. If you have anything lying around, you can use that for fodder. So, Kathy, you're hearing double voices. I let me make sure that it isn't my microphone. Is anybody else hearing it double? I'm just reading the comments here. So, Kathy, I don't know. Do you have more than one window open on your browser, or do you have an iPad or phone open also? Because if you have it on open twice on your browser, you could be having it in two places. So, because everybody else says so far that they're only hearing me once. I don't know if it's a bonus to hear me twice. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so if you have some fodder, some artsy fodder laying around your table, then just pull it out and let's cut it up and play with it. Now, this one might still be a little bit wet. I do want to show you really quickly. If you're working on a watercolor block, that means that it is gummed on multiple edges. So instead of tearing it off of your off of your block, you want to get a palette knife and stick your palette knife underneath and then just run it along the edges so that it can separate without tearing, okay? And sometimes it's a little bit of a pain, so just be gentle because you don't want to scar your paper or tear your art. And of course, you'd want to wait till this is completely dry, which I think it mostly is. There might be a couple little areas where it's a little bit damp, but so Kathy, are you still hearing it double? Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I could think of why it would um do that. So where do you get or I don't know. I'm trying to look at some of the comments, but I'm not really following. So I'll let you guys sort that out. And we'll get back to watercoloring. All right. So I have these pieces here, and then I just need to decide, which are my favorite little mark making things. What do I think would look cute together on a page, or what really, you know. So here I have my blank card, and again, it's such a small area. Of course, this would be, this is going to be pretty simple. We might be able to, of course, do more than one, but many times you're probably going to be working on a little bit larger of a surface. Sorry, I'm seeing something shiny. I keep looking up the comments and I need to not do that. I promised myself I wouldn't do it. So anyway, we have our paper now, and then you can just start cutting out or really, looking and seeing what pieces kind of call out to, what do you like? What color combinations do you want? Those kinds of things. So I'm just going to start cutting up here. Because I like this little patch. I like this too. And I don't know, I'm going to look at this and I don't know if I like it all together. I don't think I do. I think I like it like that. And those little dots on the side don't bother me at all. I kind of like it. So this is where you're just going to start playing again in a different way, and you're going to decide, like how do you want your composition? How do you want do you want it sort of monochromatic? Like it would be really cool. I use all these in this Payne's gray only, and then this one swatch of yellow. So maybe that would be a fun thing to work with. And then you'll just, of course, play with the composition. Again, do I want it to be all like the gray and the yellow would be really cool. I don't think I like that. And looking in the monitor definitely really helps. I like this here like that. And there is a rhyme or reason. I mean, sometimes like I want this dark, like you can see it's gradient. So it's like darker to lighter. And I want that dark one to be on the bottom, like it's more weighted towards the bottom. So that would be my sort of my reasoning for that. And maybe I don't want this whole piece. Maybe I want to cut this. And have it be a little skinnier. And I really like this red circle. Or maybe if I want to keep it with the yellows, I'm just gonna do something like that. I don't know. Again, it's just about the sweet spot that you feel you like and what represents, what you're trying to show or convey or what you like. I mean, there's so many things really just on these little pages that I just did that I could use in so many different ways. So, I mean, I kind of really like this, and I could keep it very stark like this. Now I do want to tell you a little trick that I do. If I'm working this way and I like what I have, then I will take a picture with my phone. If I like it, if I get it to how I like it, take a picture with your phone so that when you pull everything off, okay, you can assemble it back the way that you had it if you like it. Or even if you think you like it, okay? Like if you're going along and you feel like, oh yeah, that looks pretty good, take a picture, and then if you reassemble it later and you like it better a different way, then great, more power to you. But you will forget. I promise. Like I always think I'm going to remember, but I don't. So now I need to decide: do I want it really stark like this? Do I want to tie it together somehow? I mean, it would be really fun to maybe just do something like I could do something yellow in the background if I wanted to keep that unity and variety, or maybe I want to do something like something like that. And then, okay, of course, this isn't all the way dry. I'm going to hit it with a blow dryer just for a quick second. Okay, sorry about the blow drying action, but sometimes it can't be helped. I'm going to blot the rest just because I don't want any smearing. And then of course I'll pull my picture back up and look at it and see if arranging them the same way. Well, arranging them the same way, I'm going to end up kind of covering a part. So maybe I will rearrange. And I don't care. I don't really mind if some of it is broken up a little bit, or maybe even if some of it's covered up, I think it can be kind of cool. We'll do this. I think these little circles on this line would look cute. I don't know. I don't know if I like that peeking behind there or not. So if I don't, what's great is, of course, I could just cover it up completely. So as you can see, it's kind of a lot of fussing around and making, conscious design decisions. And a lot of definitely looking in the monitor, because that is really helpful. Even when I'm here working by myself, a lot of times I will turn on my recorder just so I can look at it that way, or definitely take pictures of it and, um, and work from the pictures. And, if I can't get it like kind of how I like it, then maybe I, start completely from scratch, or maybe this red line was a mistake and I could use it with something else. I don't know. I don't not necessarily the red line, but there's something in here. Or you can always, of course, turn it, but you're just going to keep fussing with it until you get it how you like it. Now, I did, when I had it plain, I sort of liked the way I had it laid out, but now with this I don't, so I will just have to keep messing with it. And maybe I still need more pieces. I don't know. Like, I so far don't know how I feel about that, but I'll set that one aside for now, because always work out in 20 minutes or less. That's just the way it goes. I like some of these over here too. I'll try a few of these pieces and see how this goes. And things can be super representational and sort of have meaning to you without really meaning anything to anyone else. Let's see, I feel like this needs one more little thing. But I don't know what. I'm just cutting a bunch of stuff up and I'll hold it up there and see. And that's, again, the beauty of collage, really. But I will say the fun part really for me is doing all those little just mark making and pulling out the colors. And it's a lot of fun. Kind of like this little piece, right? And then of course you can always go in and do some splatters or some, if you feel like it's too stark, although I kind of like this one stark like this. And it depends too, if you want things popped up, if you want to glue them on, or if you wanted to have them layered up higher, then you could address that a few different ways if you wanted to tape them. But I would either use my PVA glue, which is this archival white glue. It's great for bookbinding and all kinds of paper projects. Or, of course, you could use your soft gel medium. Like this. And I'm going to go ahead and assemble them just because I want to have them finished for today. So, and regardless if I don't love this one or not, it's okay. I'm going to still go ahead and put it together. I think, though, I might not use the one with the red circle. I might do something with that different. I'm going to go ahead and put it on just a plain background. And then later, if I want to add something to it, I will. Of course, I'm looking, and then when you use your soft gel medium, you want to use a brush that's not good because it will mess up your brushes. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to use my my photo that I had of my composition, and I'll just put it together that way because I liked it all right. And remember though, since it is watercolor, you don't want to get any of your medium or anything on your paints because it can reactivate it. So this is where you have to kind of be, a little more careful, not like me where you get fingerprints on stuff. So you want your fingers probably to be clean, or definitely to have a nice clean sheet of paper handy so that when you smash your layers down. Okay, hold on, I gotta get a baby wipe and clean my fingers because they're a little grungy. And then you can either take like a clean paper towel or a clean sheet of paper to go ahead and give it a good little pressing, like so. Okay, and I'm gonna not use my soft gel medium right now because I feel like it can work a little bit quicker just with my white glue, my PVA glue. So that's what I'm gonna use. And when you do this, you just want to make sure that you are not getting your glue or your soft gel medium too thick because you really don't want it squishing out the sides. And you want to keep your fingers clean in between. And of course, if you did not want to do this as like abstracty, you could do some really fun, like more illustrative type images as well. So that's something else, little food for thought. Let me see where I didn't maybe get it glued all the way here, so I'm going to try to finesse it a little bit. And maybe I still feel like I would love a little bit of red on this piece, but I know I'm being kind of chicken. I don't know why, but I think that instead, I think I'm going to just use a little bit of the yellow here and maybe paint directly right on this board. And then and like that. And I don't know, I feel like maybe I would still, I don't know, put a little something in there somewhere. I don't know, maybe a little bit of graphite. So this is something obviously that I can keep here on my desk and keep kind of looking at it and referring back to it and see how I feel about it in, half an hour or even tomorrow. I don't know. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is also fun, fun, fun for a journal page. So give it a try, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this baby together and see how I feel about it also. Oops, and I didn't take a picture, so I better do that. Again, just trying to be careful with the fingers. Yeah, I'm looking up at the comments and I'm seeing, yeah, maybe a tiny outline, a little bit of red would be nice. So, that's the kind of thing I like to look at for a little while and not, maybe make such a hasty decision, especially if I'm already kind of liking it. If I'm already liking it, then um, I like to sort of wait and give it a little time. This now. I don't know if I like that bright orange there, so I'm going to try something else, possibly. Some other little pieces from some other little scrap pieces. I thought maybe I already threw them away, but oh, here. Kind of like that. I wish the color was a little different, so I don't know. Not really sure why. I like this one, but I can't find. I had some other little marks like that, but now I think I might have thrown them away. Aha. Dig through your trash, people. Just got to see what else we got. Seeing this now out of the corner of my eye and wonder if it would look cute on here. Not with that blue though. I think that, but it does look good on there. I do like it, but I don't know if I like it with that little bit of blue. But anyway, see how something shiny will just catch your eye and then you can kind of go from there. I don't know. Just not feeling this side piece here. So, kind of like that, and maybe one more. Maybe I'll cut a triangle instead and use it there. Oh yeah, kind of maybe one more tiny thing. I don't know why. And this, again, this is where you just want to follow your intuition, okay? And try things. It doesn't hurt to try it. Kind of like that. And starts to flow, I think, as you continue to work it out. So this might be a little dark, so maybe I'll try. I do like the 3 little dots. So maybe like that. Or maybe it's this one. So you see what I'm doing. You see what I mean? It's just all like a puzzle, okay? And I really like that. I like the way this kind of came together. And honestly, I'm seeing like a little landscape. That's what I'm seeing in my mind. I don't know if y'all can see that or how you feel about it, but I would glue that down. Let me scoot this over. So So there's my two sort of finished. Again, like this one, I think I'm going to do some little graphite. And let me show you something really quick too. This is something I have not shared. But you're going to love this. This is called Art Graph, and it's watercolor graphite. So when you paint it, it's like, it looks like pencil, basically, like a graphite. So I may use some of this direct to the paper, or just even a little pencil and do some little marks. I don't know yet, but I'll work that out because I don't feel like this one's done. I do like this one, and I could leave it pretty much, I think, as is, and so be kind of happy with it. So to say I might not, I don't know, throw a little, so you see this little bit of splatter. So maybe I could use a little bit of splatter in the background, just a tiny bit here or there, something like that, just to sort of unify it. Let's try that. Well, I have this here. I'm taking a picture. Some of this is already glued on, but some of it is not. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to take my, and I'm going to use the Payne's Gray again. Just kind of want it. I don't know. I want some splat. Ah, there we go. Some splatter. Some of it's not going to show, but some of it will. I know what I need. I need a tiny, tiny splatter stamp. Maybe this would kind of work. I don't know. Just if I paint a couple little dots. Smush it a little. There we go. That'll be good enough. Okay, so then dry all that up. I'm going to also blot just because I don't want to smear around any of that black, and it's fine. Okay. I'll go ahead and glue the rest of these babies down. I'll call it a day. Oops, uh-oh. Stuck to my finger. All right, so fun little watercolor collage. Sorry, I have to wipe my hands because I got glue all over them now. And then this one, and I think I am going to glue that little red guy on there. I like it, although you kind of run the risk of, when you have that one little red spot, I mean, obviously that's going to be what draws your eye. So that will be a decision for you to make if you want to add any other red through it, or if you just want it to take center stage, basically. I still feel like this is a little nude in there. So I might, again, the graphite would be a good thing. Or of course I could, just do some other little mark making directly on that background paper if I want to. And my brush, I don't know. I think I was complaining about that same brush. The tip just has a little funky end on it. And so Not sure how I feel about that, but that's okay. It's all part of the process, right? So you can just keep working it out and having fun with it because it's an exploration and it is a lot of fun. I really enjoy the process of just playing with the paints, playing with the colors, and just messing around with the composition. Maybe it got a little busy. That's okay. Again, I'm not submitting this to the Smithsonian this week, so I'm okay with it being imperfect or even not being the happiest with it that I've been, of any of my artwork. It's really okay. I am going to get out a little pencil because, I want to pull this together and I'm almost done. Let's see here. I have this nice mechanical pencil with sort of a thicker lead. I'm going to go ahead and give that a try and see if I can make this come together at all. And it's crazy. I don't know if you saw that, but I smeared that a little bit. Like my finger must have got on there while it was still wet and smeared it. But I kind of like it. It's okay. Like I mean, it's rough, but I kind of like that. The kind of cool thing about adding some of that, like if I don't like it, which I don't like that little piece I just put on there, is that you can erase it. So I'm going to use my kneaded eraser and just undo that last little mark that I made. Some of them I feel like need to be a little darker, so I don't like that, which I don't. I'm going to take, I like the circle there, I just don't like it being the same, so I'm going to take now my black paint again and smush that on there instead. Thicken these up just a little bit, make them scratchy. I'm just being real imperfect for once. That was a joke. All right, and that's getting a little busy, but that's okay. I'm going to sign it and call it done. So I want to thank Caroline Cohenauer for being my inspiration today without even knowing it. I mean, of course, it's just fun to look at some other artists that you love and, use them for some inspiration and exploration. And I hope you get to do that today yourself. So, goodness, we ran long today, but it was a little bit more exploratory. So, I hope you had fun. I hope you get to get out your paints and get makey. If you have any questions, please ask me now or you can message me. As always, I thank you so much for being here for, not only just for World Watercolor Month, but just with me for Let's Get Makey and following Rubber Moon and the Moon and the Maker. I love you to the moon and back. So yeah, I hope you do a few of them today. Libby said she thought it was so fun. She's going to do a few. Sandy says I still need a long red on the border on the left. So yeah, maybe I should add a little more red to this piece. And I still might do that. It might be a cool thing to tie that all together somehow. Thanks for being here, Puff. It was great to see you. I hope that things are settling down for you a little bit. And anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. Remember that if you place any order today, I will send you this core color chart and a little sample of core watercolors while they last. And I will offer this again tomorrow if I still have some left. So thanks again. Mwah. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.